Hey, what's up? It's Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the CreditRepairShop.com. And in today's video, we're going to talk about trying to move forward when you are ready to deal with charge-offs that you said, hey, I'm going to just pay them. I want to do settlements. I want to be able to move forward in my life. Maybe there's a job that you're trying to get that's requiring it to be done. I see this a lot with our clients who are becoming police officers. We've had this with clients who are becoming civil, what is that, that protects the president? I can't even remember it right now. Or that are in that field. We've seen it with certain banking jobs, stock market type jobs, where they're requiring certain individuals, depending on what level of entry, that you can't have issues on your credit reports that are not resolved. This is just the way it is. Even though they're not supposed to hire according to your credit reports, there's certain fields that have exemptions. And so what has happened over time, and that's what have made me want to make this video, because it's going to save you a lot of frustration, because this is one of those, it is because it is that way. That's one of those old sayings, is that it's going to be some work to get yourself out of that situation. And let me tell you the reason why, but let me first give you some foundation. Let's just say you have some charge-offs. You haven't paid these companies for months, for years, maybe many years. Like, I've seen times where it's just been a charge-off and nothing has been done for years. And then all of a sudden, you're ready to make that move for your life, to get to that next level, to get that job, or to get that loan to make a business, or to get your house, or whatever it is. And you look at your credit reports and you're like, okay, I need to deal with this here. I need to resolve that. Maybe it's only like $1,000 or a couple of $1,000 or even less. I've seen some for even less. And it's like, do a settlement to just get that knocked out and out of the way. But a problem arises, is where the company, it's like it's in limbo. The company has not made a decision on if they're going to sell the debt, if they're going to want to collect the debt, how they're going to want to collect the debt. It's just like floating. It's like it's just in the atmosphere. No one is grabbing it to deal with it. And you approach the company and you tell the company, hey, I want to just resolve this debt. I want to pay it. I owe you the money. I know it's been, some years, and I'm ready to resolve it. And the company does not move fast enough. So this is one of those lessons that I try to teach over and over and over again in my videos, about knowing where you are now. So this, and we do this as human beings, we do this all the time. What we do is we'll say, when I'm ready to move, I want everything to move fast at my speed for the way that I want it. But we have a tendency to forget that when that company or those other people wanted us to move, that we maybe didn't move at their speed. And now that we're ready to move and they're not moving at our speed, we get upset. And that's why it is important to know where you are now, because it'll save you frustration. Because just because you're ready to resolve your debt doesn't mean that they're going to just line up and say, hey, come on in and let's sit down and let's draw out this paper here. Remember, they've been waiting on you for a year, 2 years, 3 years. You never know how long it's been. They've been waiting on you. So they've been getting by without your money. And this is what you have to understand. They've been getting by without you paying. The mark has been on your credit reports. They haven't, it's like they've moved on. And that's what a lot of people think, that they've just moved on and I don't have to do anything until I'm ready to do something. And then when you're ready to do something, all of a sudden you want them to move at a faster pace to resolve it, and that it does not always happen that way. So to give you some background, and the stuff I'm giving you is from experience, not from where, like you're just guessing or somebody's watching someone else's YouTube video and then they're like putting together some type of theory, or they're reading these books and they're like, this is the way that it's written in the book. Well, I'm going to tell you the way that it's written a certain way in the book, and then it's applied a certain way. If you have not paid a company and that company owns that debt, that company may not move as quick as you want them to move to resolve that debt. It could take 5, 10, 20, 30 phone calls. It could take 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. And you might be saying, well, Steve, I got the money, and why won't they take the money? Because they're not just thinking about you. One of the things that is like a big elephant in the room. It's like a big elephant in the room. And I had to learn this lesson too myself, so I don't take myself out of this equation.
New visitor.
Is that we are just numbers when it comes to a company. A business is in the business of making money, not in the business of chasing people who owe them money. They want people who owe them money to pay them money, and they will do things to get that money. But the ultimate goal of the business is to focus on bringing in new clients and keeping and taking care of the customers who will pay them month after month after month after month after month, or who will buy their products and services at some point and then later buy their products and services at another point. That's the main focus of the business. So they don't have thousands of people sitting in the room to do collections. As a matter of fact, if a original creditor still owns your debt, this is what they do. This is what they do. And this is real deal facts, not no BS that you see on other channels. This is real deal facts. What they do is they get the paper. If you use a company like ours, they had a power of attorney. They assign someone to talk to you about that debt. And then they have to do what they're allowed to do with the power they have in their hands. And they don't tell you, I don't have the power to do that. What they will do is they will say, we'll look at it and we will get back with you, or you can follow back up with us. Think about it. Put yourself in the position. Let's just say that you're the cashier at McDonald's. Everybody knows that you're the cashier at McDonald's. But somebody comes up there and they try to do a power move on you. What is the next thing that you're going to try to do? And we see this all over on YouTube with videos where a cashier is like, hey, I ain't taking this. You know what? I'm going to deal with you. The same thing happens when it comes to debt. And the power that that person has, the one piece of power that they have, if they cannot make a decision, is to delay your payment on that, is to take you through the ringer, just like you took the company through a ring. The company pays them. And yes, you would be like, well, why won't they just hurry up and collect the money for the company? Because, like I said earlier, the company makes money regardless. The company has been getting along for years, months, however long you ever paid them. The company has been making it. So you're not as much of a priority as you may think. You are not as much of a priority as you may think, and they may make you go through just as much to take care and resolve that debt as it took for you to come back to them months, years later to resolve the debt. They could do that. That's like the power. If you want to say what's the ultimate power move that they could try to play, that's it right there. And that individual who gets that documentation. So I'm telling you what you're going to go through if you try to do this yourself. And if we do it, we go through it too. So it's not, it's just what you want to go, which way you want to do it. Is that it's going to be multiple phone calls to that individual to make sure that they are taking care of your paperwork for your settlement that you want to resolve. And the thing about it is that they probably have thousands on their desk. Like if you were to walk into their office, they probably got, if you can envision this, thousands of sheets of paperwork that are filed somewhere, or they have a big database and they got to sit there and go through the spreadsheet of all of the people that they're talking to resolve certain debts. And then the company itself could come in and say, don't settle none of that. We're going to sell all of that in bulk. We got an offer from this other company. And then when they get the offer from another company, it could take another year for that debt collector to call you or to send you a demand letter about the debt. As a matter of fact, you will see it on your credit reports. Get your credit reports right now. Open them up. Open them up. Pause the video and open them up if you got a charge off on your credit reports. I'm going to show you a way, something that you can look at to validate what I'm telling you. Open your credit reports and then look at any charge off that you have on there. And then if it says underneath that it was not, if it doesn't say that it was sold, that it's just charged off, call the company and ask them what they're doing with that debt. Some of the times you may say, I want to settle that debt, and they say, we can't even settle it. And it's because it's already being packaged up to sell to a debt collector. Watch my videos on what to do if that happens, because you can get that removed. Now, if it's marked in there that it was sold to another party or sold to another owner, it could say either something that will give you an idea that it was sold. You can call the company and they won't even tell you who it was sold to. And then what are you going to do? If they sell the debt, they can't settle the debt. If they sell the debt, they can't settle the debt, but they can't tell you who purchased the debt. They said that whoever purchased the debt will be contacting you. So, but you need to move forward. You need that job that's going to pay you $100,000, $150,000 a year, $250,000 a year, because for the requirements for that job says that you can't come in the door looking like this on your credit report, not because you're credit and they don't really necessarily care about your credit. It's because if you're going to handle our money, you're going to handle our business, you're going to have the responsibility of being in charge of something. If you can't take charge of your own stuff, how can you take charge of our stuff? That's how companies are looking at people right now. They're saying, okay, if I want to hire you, your experience, education, your talents, everything is impeccable. And then they go and they interview the other person. They say, your experience, your talents, your education is impeccable. And they say, okay, I'll be getting back with you and making a decision. I'll be getting back with you and making a decision. And they say, damn, who do I pick? And they say, well, this is one of the most important aspects to our business is that we got to manage money, because we're managing money for other people. Or my business, I want to make sure that people have the same mindset for my business. Like for the credit repair shop, I demand that my employees have their financial house in order, that they start to budget their money. I don't tell them how to spend their money, but I tell them, how can we feel good about what we tell people to do if we don't follow those same steps? And I saw over time, the employees that did it, that are still here, and the ones that didn't, they constantly had problems. Let me tell you some of the problems they constantly had. Is that they had money issues. They were asking for advances. They were like, for some, your boss don't want you to come to work and ask for an advance. I mean, they might do it, but they don't want that. Because if you're under pressure to do stuff like that, that means that you're not managing your household. And then if I put you in charge of talking to people about finances and you don't manage yours, that's not going to cut it. That's not going to work. So what they do is they look at that credit report and they say, well, I'm going to make, this is the way they handle their money. That's the way they handle their money. And I'm going to go with this individual. Because when they're making those decisions, all they're going off of is data. So if you're dealing with charged off accounts and they are not moving as fast as you want them to move because you're ready to move now, you forgot about when they were ready to move, it's going to be frustrating, but I'm saving you frustration, is that you're going to have to just put in the work, call, send information, and they will come to their point when they're ready to resolve it. And that's coming from real life experiences. Now, if it's sold to the debt collector and the debt collector gets it, that's going to be a different story, because debt collectors are in the business of resolving those debts. They're like, hey, if you're ready to move forward, we'll move forward, get this stuff out the way, it'll be done and over with. And no, the debt collector cannot make the original creditor remove it off your reports. Watch my video about how to get charge-offs removed off your credit reports. I have two. I have an older version and I have a newer, updated version. Watch both of them. Foundation is the same, but I tested something that has been working, and I put it in a video. I put it in a detailed video. All right. If you need help with your credit, please visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, what makes it different, so you can see my 8-point validation process, my 2-phase settlement process. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website, yourthenumber3scores.com, to grab your TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian credit reports in all 3 scores. If you need, if you have debt collectors coming after you, grab my 3-pack of letters. And please make a donation on those, because those letters can save you time, money, frustration. It can save you from being able for a debt collector to be able to even come after you for the money. And I think that's worth it. That's value to you. You can get the letter, and then once they stop coming after you, then you make a donation. People have done that before, so we could, I can let me prove it, and then you do it, because I get plenty of testimonials where people say that they use those letters and it stopped the debt collector, and they wish they would have done that for other stuff that they were dealing with. It's a statute of limitations, the cease and desist collection activities letter, and the debt validation letter. The instructions are on there. Use the one that is appropriate for your situation. Thank you for your time. Please subscribe to the channel. Post your questions and comments. This is Stephen A. Williams, President and Founder of thecreditrepairshop.com.